Proszę Państwa, Arena Krajobrazu to ma być też wyjątkowe święto dla architektów krajobrazu. Mamy nadzieję, że takim świętem stanie się prezentacja, o którą poprosiłem osobiście pana Chrisa Beardshawa, będąc przed rokiem na Chelsea Flower Show. I niech to będzie dla was prezent od Areny Krajobrazu, prezent od grupy MTP, prezentacja autorska pana Chrisa Beardshawa. Chris, stage is yours. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for spending the time this afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for the invitation to come and talk at this wonderful event, and an opportunity for an industry to get together and celebrate what we are good at as landscapers, landscape designers, growers and horticulturalists. I was asked if I would talk to you for a few minutes about what I do and the process that I go through when I'm designing landscapes, and what inspired me to get involved in creating landscapes. I suppose, in essence, what we do as landscape designers and landscape architects, what we do as growers who are supplying an industry such as landscape architecture, is that we provide the facility to craft spaces that we and our clients, whoever they are, whether they are private clients or whether it's the public sector, can fall in love with, can connect with. And I would go further to suggest that the gardens, the landscapes that we produce are truly transformative. Just to give you some idea of how I got involved in the creation of gardens, I started off working in a small retail nursery, and after a very short space of time realized that the plants that we were growing were really fundamentally affecting the people who were coming in and purchasing those plants and taking them off into their gardens and off into their landscapes. So back to how I got started in all of this, which will perhaps and hopefully give you a steer on why I do what I do and the approach that I take in designing and creating landscapes. The image on the left-hand side here demonstrates my earliest job as a nurseryman. At the age of 13, I started working in a small nursery. We grew everything that we sold. And one of the beauties of working in an environment like that is that you're able very quickly to discern how a plant grows, how it responds, how it sits throughout the seasons. You understand intimately the way in which a plant unfolds, and you spot the opportunities to combine that plant with others and create a community, a robust and resilient community of plants. And it's as a result of working in that small nursery where we were growing all our plant material that I suddenly realized that actually I didn't want to grow individuals. I didn't want the individual plant to create the effect. I wanted a choreography, a composition of plant material. So I won't keep here for much longer, other than I'm going to skip through a few slides, and I just want to finish on one slide that I wanted you just to have a look at, and it's this one. This is a piece of prose that I think perfectly encapsulates why we do what we do as garden designers, as landscapers, as gardeners, as horticulturists. For me, this explains the full range of connections that we can experience in a garden space. I'll read it to you in case you can't see it. It simply says, "The garden is a place of pleasure, filled with joy, but it resounds in love, laments of poets. It's a refuge for private meditation. It's a place for feasts, entertainment for friends, a place of sexual and intellectual freedom, a setting for philosophical discussions, and a restorative for both body and soul. It's a well-ordered model of the universe, an experiment in immortality, a never-ending apparition of spring. It assumes the function of a sculpture gallery, a horticultural encyclopedia, a centre of botanical and medical research, and a theatre for fantastic imitation. Finally, it's a perpetual source of moral instruction." As designers, landscape architects, as horticulturalists, this is describing what you do. what we all do. We create these spaces. We create spaces that people encounter and describe like that. Now, granted, not everyone may feel they experience all of that, but the point is, for every single person that enters your scheme, they should feel at least one of those connections. If you've done your job properly, if the scheme is working hard, just one of those will have that transformative effect. And if you don't transform that individual, if you don't take that opportunity to create that transformative space, then who will? It's what we are trained to do. It isn't about creating works of ego, it's about creating works that are relevant to the way that we live today. Thank you very much.